So, you're a guitar player. You know a few chords, a few basic riffs, and you're technically proficient enough so you can enjoy yourself playing. But you want to take your music up to the next level. And like a lot of people who've ever picked up a guitar, there's one style in particular that you want to master, the blues. So much modern music is rooted in the blues. And there's a reason for that. It's one of the most beautiful and expressive styles there is. Among the different instruments, the blues speaks most powerfully, most passionately through the guitar. So to start speaking the language of the blues, we're going to show you some of the basic riffs, give you some of the basic vocabulary of the blues. What you do with it and where you take it is all up to you, but we're going to get you started and give you a good foundation so you can either play with a band or on your own. But again, where you take it is up to you. First up, this is a classic slow blues intro in the key of A. You've heard this in the music of Johnny Winter, Buddy Guy, and B.B. King. Ace is going to show you how it's done.
So here we're landing on the 9 chord, which is a D9, which is also the 4 chord in blues. So you have your root here, which is your middle finger on 5. You have your 3rd here, which is your index on the 4th fret. And then you have 3 5s right here along here. So you're going to get a 7, a 9, and another root. So if you get a little gusto here, you want to give it some meat. Give it some meat, because we're introing in the beginning of the song. So you can get some guts here. So I'm putting some good strong vibrato right here, which I'm using my middle finger here. And then we land on the 4 chord. Again, a D9. All right, so we have our index finger across string 3, 2, and 1. I have my index across here. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the first 2 notes together. See the 2 5s? Then we're going to go up with our middle finger. So we got 6, 5, 5. Now I'm using my middle finger to go from this 8 to 10. Adding some vibrato. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come down to a D9. So you have your middle on 5, your index on 4, and you have your ring finger across 3, 2, and 1. So that gives you a D9 chord.
Now we're going to show you a Texas-style blues also in the key of A. You can hear this one in the playing of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Walter Trout, and Buddy Guy.
So right here, this is a good answer to anything that's in sequence that you're playing. So if you put it on the back pickup here, in other words, the bridge pickup, you can get some nasty sounds out of that. So also what I'm doing is I'm taking my middle and my ring finger here, and I'm kind of plucking like that, like a chicken. So what you do, kind of gives you a little meat on what the riff is. So you got, so I'm also using my pick here, so I'm catching it and I'm going this way. So again, I'm using the same grind that we did in the previous riff. So you got them together. There you go. It kind of says something there. Put a little life into it. Okay, so I got my ring finger and my pinky here on 7 and 8 on the 2 and 1 string. What we're going to do is we're going to fourth bend them. In other words, you don't want a full bend, you just want a short bend. Then I'm using my index here on the 2/5. And I'm going to do the same thing we just did. And then my ring finger to 7. I'm going to capo these 2 5s. Hammer that middle finger there to 6.
Here's one that you hear in the playing of the king himself, B.B. King. This is a riff that every guitar player wants to master. It's in the key of A, best accompanied by a medium shuffle. Ace, let's see how it's done.
All right, good famous B.B. King right there. So a couple things you can do. You can turn the tone volume off here. If you're in your front pickup here, you turn this off, and this will kind of fatten out. You're sounding a little bit of overdrive from the amp there. So you can get a real nice warmth here on. So that's the kind of the secret to a BB type of style. But you can turn that, roll that back off, you get that real round tone here. So just give it a good shake. You know, I'm lifting my hand off here. You can see something like that. You know, you can grab the neck like this and really yank on it, but you get a lot of life out of those notes, and that's the whole important to the BB thing. You know, ever watch him? He does that kind of thing. Okay. Okay, so I'm sliding up the 3rd string to the 11th fret here. So I'm sliding, using my index, then my ring, then back to my 11th fret. Now I'm going to take my ring here and bend that a full bend. Release it and back to 10.
Now we're going to do a key change and show you some piano-style slurs in the key of E. You hear this most often in the playing of people like Clapton and the great Canadian bluesman Jeff Healey.
You can play it slow or fast, either way. The idea here is that you're getting, again, we're copying off the piano, so that's why we're using these types of double stops. They're called double stops when you put two notes like that. So we're kind of doing everything in what they call thirds. Importantly, you want to peg your pinky finger here, and we're sliding this 10 into 11. So you put the two notes together, see? And then you get a full E major chord, see? That was kind of the whole art of Jimi Hendrix right there. All right, so I got my index across the two 12s here, the 12th fret. So what I'm doing is I'm going to hammer here, then back to 12, 13 with the ring. Now I'm going to take these two 12s, hammer that 13. Now I'm going to go down 14, 12, 14, 13, 12. Now I'm going to counter my pinky here so that I can slide this 10 into 11. Then I go with my middle finger to 12 on the 5th string, back, and then tag our root note.
Now we're going to do a Delta or Texas style blues, also in the key of E. You hear this in the playing of Muddy Waters, Rick Derringer, and Eric Clapton. Ace has got it.
There you have it. These are going to sound real grindy because that's that really Delta type of thing. So what I'm doing here is I'm upstroking, so you get a pretty gnarly little tone there. So, and right in that point, what I'm doing is I'm using pick, middle, ring. So you really get a nice. Here's another old, really great secret. What I'm doing is I'm raking and I'm plucking the high string with my middle here. So I got my 3rd finger here for this. There I was with the 3 thing. So right at here's point, I got my ring finger here on the 4th fret. Got that 3rd there. There's lots of types of little things you can do with that. So you get a lot really gnarly, kind of Creedence Clearwater, a little bit of everybody pulled from. All right, so I'm using my ring finger here on the 1st string. We're gonna half bend it up, release it. Now I'm going up to the 4th fret on the 3rd string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, open, sliding down, E string open, D string open. Now I'm going to use my index and my ring on 5th and 4th, and then an open E chord.
Now here's one from the Texas blues master himself, Stevie Ray Vaughan, of course. This is a slow burn blues style played in the key of G minor. Ace has got it.
Again. So we're putting a little sting there. So also if you're playing in a G minor blues, and you have the clean channel, it's going to give you that real Stevie Ray type of, Texas-oriented tone. So make sure that you got these outside notes. See that? And I keep my index here, you can call it capoed if you like. You can call it capo. But basically, you got the whole minor chord. So you can use your fingers, perhaps. In this case, a lot of times I'm using my pick and my middle finger. Goes real nice with the minor. And you put that last, the very Albert style to put a little overdrive with it. There we go. Right, so what I have here is like a G minor chord. I have my ring finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string and 3 3. See that? Okay, so we're going to hold them like this. So I'm going to play the 4th string and the 1 string at the same time. I'm going to move to the next string, so 3 and 1 string. Now I'm going to hammer here. Then I got my ring back there, and I'm going to sting that 3.
Next up, a bleeding heart style riff in the key of C. This one best exemplified by the magician from Seattle, Hendrix himself.
So what you got here is a very Hendrix trick. He used to do this a lot in the... It's really gnarly, so you want to really pull... That's very bleeding heart. So what I'm doing here is the standard Chuck Berry riff, right? I'm going to pull off. So when you bend this up, I bend it into the next string, and I strike it up like this. And I'm coming back down. So when you put the strings together, you got... If you'll notice slightly, you got that type of thing. Really angry, very Hendrix type. He's always playing stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going down and up stroke. So you want to put the 2 strings together. And that's what kind of goes with that real gritty type of thing. So it's very expressive. So one more time. Right, so I got my ring finger here on the 10th fret. We're going to do a full bend. We're going to go across these 2 8s. Now we're going to take this 11 and pull it off to the 8 here. Now I'm going to use my ring finger and I'm going to full bend this up. Full step. Now I'm going to catch the 3rd string coming down on 10. And then there's my A. I'm going to half stem, pull it, and vibrato there.
Now this one is a swing shuffle in the style of T-Bone Walker and B.B. King. You hear this in a lot of the swing bands from the 40s and 50s. Ace will show you how it's done.
All right, so we got T-Bone style here. What I like to do sometimes is when you're playing distorted wise, I kind of have it full blown there, but you can roll back a little bit, get it down. If you're kind of looking at your dial here, you got 3 or 4, so you can kind of clean it up, but yet you get the dirt and a little more sustain rather than as, that's great if, you're playing a big hollow body guitar. So for instance, again, just playing your bass pick up and roll back a little bit right here. You still get that big hollow tone. So one more time. See that? So you get a little bit of best of both worlds. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing it clean. But there you have it. There's a little more, either way, whatever floats your boat. You can get a little, play a full drive, back in those times in the 30s and 40s, there was no such thing as clean and dirty. So, they just played it full out, man. Right, so on this one, I'm going to start with my pinky here because we got a kind of a stretch here to this 5th fret. So I'm going 8 to 5, another 8. Now I'm going to take this 6 and 5, slide it up. Now I'm going to take my ring and go across these 2 8s. Now I'm going to do 2 6s and hammer that one. And now we have 5, 6, 7.
Now here's an example of how the blues has morphed and evolved into so many different styles. This you might call a pop rock blues riff. You've heard this a lot in the playing of greats like Eric Clapton and Jeff Healey. Ace, let's hear it.
All right, so we got 3 positions going on here. This is real great if you're over like a big sequence. Very Clapton, very 80s, journeyman type of Clapton, Again, here's another great sequence. You can do that old Clapton thing, and, what he'll do is roll that off on his Strat, playing the big pickup here, bass pickup here, and you get a real round tone. Again, we're kind of borrowing a little bit from BB here. So, and what he's doing there, he's really utilizing the chords here that are kind of surrounding him. He's sliding right down. And right here is your root chord, see? It's kind of a slick way, see? So make sure you put a real nice, and you can give it some life. You can let it sustain. And you can hold it there as long as you like. Again, I'm doing the Clapton lift-off, which is kind of something I got from him. Can't really teach that. You just have to kind of find what works for you, Okay, so I got the middle finger on the 3rd fret. I'm starting at 16 on the 3rd string. Then I got 15 on the 2 string. Now I'm going to take this 17 here with my ring finger in full bend. Back to 17, 15 here on the 2 string. Okay, then our next position, I'm going to take the pinky and I'm going to bend a full step on 13, and then I'm going to half step with my ring finger on 12, and then 10 I'm going to add some vibrato. Now I'm going to come down to 13 on the 2 string, then I'm going to half bend with my ring finger, back. I got a 10 here, then I'm going to slide I'm going to push it up and land on 7 with my middle finger on the 3rd string.
Now finally, we call this the 3-box blues riff. This is in the key of B. You hear this a lot in the playing of Eric Clapton and B.B. King. Ace, let's see how it's done.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking the top, the root note here, right here on 19. So a lot of the, blues playing here, you got a lot of little repeat with some, it's kind of a statement, when you say something, it's like a period at the end of the sentence, put a little character. So we have one section here, which is your normal pentatonic. We have a relative here, and then again, you have your normal pentatonic right here. So 3 sections, 1, 2, and 3. All right, so one more time. We're taking the B.B. King sting, and then we're going to slide. Those. Wrong position. So yeah, you got to watch this little area. It's easy to get right off, see? You can tell right away. See that? See, even us pros get it wrong. See that? So, again, I'm kind of using that rake trick. Kind of a hard thing to do, but what I'm doing is, if you watch these 2 fingers here, I'm just raking across, but my finger's pushing that, so it allows me to do that. See, that's a cool secret there, watch. So you get kind of good at it. You can do it at any point. Okay, I got my ring finger here on 19 on the high E string. I'm going to peg it like that, slide down. I'm going to go up the 3rd string to 13. I'm going to go 12, 15, 13, 12, 15, 13, and I'm going to put a vibrato here on 12. Then I'm going to take my ring finger and take 13 down to 9, 7, pull a little jerk there, 9, 7, 9, 8, 7. I'm going to take this 5 and pull it down just a little, about a 4th step, and land. Nice vibrato. Okay, last but not least.
So there you have 10 different signature blues riffs. Even if you only learn a couple of these, this is going to drastically expand your repertoire to the point where you're not just jamming on the notes, but you're learning how to say something and make phrases and sentences out of each one. This is going to help you learn new riffs and even invent your own. You're going to have years of great fun. So good luck and turn it up.